George Herbert Walker Bush passed on. He was 94 years old, which is a good run by any standard. And I said this, I think that sometimes death can make things antiseptic. I think by the standard of who we have now as president, he was an extremely good man. He would almost be a candidate for statehood compared to Donald Trump. But I think that a lot of times when someone dies, like you ever gone to the funeral and you knew the people that you were there to see, the person you were there to see had flaws, but they're talking so good about them that you almost think you're in the wrong funeral. I felt a bit like that this weekend. I think George Herbert Walker Bush was an honorable man. There are things that he did that I thought were very admirable. I thought his stance with the NRA when he called them jackbooted thugs and denied his membership was admirable. I thought the fact that when Rodney King's assaulters, those 4 police officers were acquitted in Simi Valley, his Justice Department brought them up on federal charges and they were convicted. But you cannot get away from some of the things that he did also. That Willie Horton ad is universally considered one of the most racist ads in modern political history. Character is what you do in the dark. When he wanted to become president, he did what a lot of politicians do. He demonized the black people, and he knew it would work, and it did. And to this day, it started a precedent when people get in ready to lose, they go to the money. You can see it in DeSantis when he said monkeying up. You can see it in what happened in Georgia when he drove around with a truck and said that he was going to pick up illegal immigrants. So as much good as he did what a lot of people do is what they do when they get in trouble. They turn on people who are less than, who they consider less than. And everybody tends to forget that. That Willie Horton ad started a lot of stuff. Matter of fact, Reagan with the whole, the whole welfare queen thing was awful, also a harbinger of that. But the Willie Horton ad, to date, started an escalation into racial politics that is with us today, and they do it because it works. So as much as he did that would be considered noteworthy, as much as he did that would be considered honorable, that to me is extremely dishonorable. You are what you do in the dark. You are what you do when you turn on lesser people. You are what you do when you do anything you have to do to win. And that thing you have to do to win is to denigrate people who are weakened, in a weakened position, or people who you consider inferior. That to me, you can't get all A's on the test after that. He was a good man, but the most important thing he was is when the chips was down, he went down on the people. He punched down. He punched down. That's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley.